Hello everyone, we're back here with another video to show you what I've been working on since the last one. It's been about 2 months since I made the switch towards working towards a release of the game, and I'm trying to get into a position where there'll be a really solid game loop that I'll be able to release as a demo. I'm trying to make the changes as I go along to keep the game unique while also not breaking the entire code. The first new addition that I can show you is what I've done with the stats. You'll see as I select my class that the stats panel appears on the side and shows me the different base stats for my character. For now I've got these 3 basic classes, but there's enough stats here to have lots of variation. You'll also see as I go to the race selection area that I've added a halfling class. This will be my hobbit-like race that I've put into the game. I tried to make them not just look like children by giving them larger hands and larger feet than the human characters, and while also giving them a different outfit style. And I realised while editing this video I've got no other footage of the halflings, so you'll have to wait for that one. I have also added a new villager style outfit to the humans and added a few more weapons into the game. The more variation I add to the game gets me excited for all the stories that we'll be able to share with each other. Because even as simply as adding an axe and a round shield to this outfit, I have easily created a Viking army, which opens up so many possibilities for stories. If there's any armies you'd like to see in the game, then please leave a comment and let me know. Or if there's a type of outfit you can think of that is really versatile and can be used in many situations, then again please let me know. The final change to the character creator is the stats panel. This panel will give the ability to the player to create their own unique variations on the main class types. For now I have capped additional points to 5 for each stat, but in the future we will dial this in as we discover which stats are the most OP. And unfortunately we might have to nerf some of these stats as well. You'll also see that when a stat is increased, the total points goes up for the character, and this will help keep games as fair as possible by balancing the points across the teams. We can also use this system of upgrading for the various game types that we will have. One comment from the last video recommended that I should add a wave-based system as well. So hopefully you'll start out with a few low-level troops and will defend against waves of enemies and level up in between rounds, which will act almost like a roguelike type game, which I'm really excited to add. And then once you're done with the character, then you can save it and move over to the level creator. I'm just going to throw together a quick level to show you how the variety works in this game. From before, you'll notice that I allowed the Viking warrior to use one of the 9 round shields and use one of the 3 villager outfits or one of the 2 poses. As each Viking randomly selects which items to wear, it provides unique variety to the troops. I'll add in some quick soldiers and a ranger's army, and we'll have a mini recreation of the storming of Linda's farm. One issue I find I'm having is I always have to speed up this part of the video where I'm just placing units and putting them into teams. I need to find a way to make it easier, faster, more intuitive, but I'm not really sure there's a way. I don't want to just resign to the fact that this is part of the process of creating a level, but I'm not really sure how to speed it up, and I'm worried it might reduce the player's enjoyment. So if anyone's got any thoughts, please share them in the comments and I'll read them. This will bring me on to the next topic that I want to cover, and that is the AI. I added lots of knowledge to the AI. Before, each unit would determine which was the closest enemy and run straight towards him. That's an okay style of attack if, for example, it was a goblin army. And this is probably how an undisciplined goblin army would fight. However, if you had a disciplined army like the Vikings, then this army is going to move around much more tactically. I also wanted to try and program in how a human player moves units around the tabletop. You'll see as the Vikings, who are controlled by an AI, remain in a grid-like formation, just like how human players play this types of game. The previous AI would have no battlefield knowledge and not know it needed to capture control points or target a building to burn. And they lacked any kind of tactical understanding of the battlefield and didn't make any decisions based on the winning criteria of the current game. I've based the new AI system on a video at GDC by the Days Gone developer, who implemented a squad-based system. Now an enemy team will split into squads, read the battlefield, rank the tactical choices it's available to make, and make decisions based on this information. And just as a quick note, it's always so satisfying to me to watch troops get blasted by arrows. I think it is my favourite thing that I've added into this game. And we can sit here all day and watch these Vikings and soldiers go at each other, but we all know how it actually ends. Joking aside, Lindisfarne is actually a beautiful part of Britain, and I was actually lucky enough to go there last year. And for those that don't know, it's an island in the north of England that is only accessible when the tide is low. It's home to the ruins of an Anglo-Saxon monastery and is thought to be one of the first places that Vikings ever landed in Britain, and I would love to include it in a tabletop story in the future. Okay, now let's get back to the AI. This is kind of hard to see on such a small battlefield though, but if we zoom out and take a look at a larger battlefield with 2 squads in each team, we can see these decisions being made. You'll see the squads form and move around the battlefield maintaining their formations. The Rangers look like they've decided to conglomerate their forces and attack one of the enemy squads, while the Knights have decided to stay apart and target individual squads. Just like in chess, where there is an early game, middle game and late game, and the tactics different depending on which phase you're in, the same applies to these squads. When they are far enough away from the enemy, they can consider the whole battlefield, the points of interest, and make tactical decisions about where the best place to move is. But when they're in close quarters, all tactics go out the window, and now they need to decide the best way to defeat the enemy that is right in front of them. You'll see this as the squads come together and clash right in the middle of the board. And I know it's just a video game, but this is what it looks like in my head. Thanks for watching this video, it was really fun to make. It really helps my motivation when I read people saying they're excited for the game. But recently I've been feeling this game is missing something, and I think it's missing some special effects like blood and explosions, so hopefully I'll be adding that in the next round.